Team of the week time, the final team of the week of November. Next week, once the Ireland-Australia game's out the way, I'll do a team of the month over the whole Autumn Nations series. But I'm going to miss these back-to-back matches. I'm going to miss a Saturday where I get my stuff done in the morning and then there's nothing else to do for the rest of the day except park my backside on the sofa and consume rugby. It's a beautiful thing. And as winter's drawing in, it's perfect. Get the fire on, get the rugby on, happy days. Well, actually, I've just thought it must be much harder when you're watching in the Southern Hemisphere, when the weather's actually nice outside and you might want to go out in and amongst it. I had no such troubles. So yeah, sadly, international rugby's come to an end. I'll be in Dublin next weekend for Ireland-Australia, the last game of November. But let's go then with Week 4's Team of the Week. Your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm Tim and this is Egg Chasers. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. That really helps as well. So starting with a loosehead prop, I went for Thomas du Toit, who absolutely atomised his Bath teammate Archie Griffin, who got the Shepherd's Crook treatment and taken off after about half an hour. And look, he had a 1,000-yard stare as he was jogging off the pitch. And no surprise, because he got absolutely beasted. Now, the judgments in this particular team of the week, more so than the previous weeks, is quite difficult because it was a weekend of mismatches, wasn't it? Ireland were up against Fiji, South Africa up against Wales, England up against Japan. I was going to say Scotland up against Australia. That was actually one of the games that wasn't a complete mismatch. But you get my point. It makes it harder to judge. But even in the context of a weak Wales team at a low ebb, Thomas du Toit was absolutely magnificent, and it feels quite appropriate that performance in the one jersey came at the, I mean, it may have even been happening at the same time, but in the last few days, Stephen Kitsoff, there's some pictures of it doing the rounds. He's had forget about rugby, he's had an operation on his neck. I mean, a bit of his hip fused to his neck. Yeah, I mean, forget about rugby for a second. I hope he has a pain-free, happy, fulfilled life because he's a long time not a rugby player. We may never see Stephen Kitsoff on a rugby pitch again. If that is the case, well, I mean, South Africa have got props coming out of their ears. But Thomas du Toit, who's a tight head, can put in a performance like that in the number 1 jersey. He could be the solution in both of the prop jerseys. The guy is an absolute beast. Hooker, I went for Gus McCarthy of Ireland. What a debut, by the way. He looked like a 50-cap veteran. He was so cool, calm and collected. His set piece was great. Controlled things at the back of the maul. Got a try in the end. Nice offload for, was it Craig Casey's try? Really assured performance. I don't know how the Leinster production line does it, but they have done it again with this guy. He's, he looks like a special talent. A shout for Piato Malvaca, who was really good. Oh, by the way, on the loosehead props, I should have mentioned Pierre McScuman, who put in a huge performance against Australia. Thomas Gageot for Argentina was really strong, got a try and obliterated France's scrum, so he definitely deserves a mention. Piato Malvaca was probably close second behind McCarthy for the hooker jersey. Tight head prop, this one was really tough. I went for Zander Fagerson. 71 minutes he played, and he won multiple scrum penalties against Angus Bell. And this is one of those where I had a few players that looked really good. Wilco Low looked really good for South Africa. But I actually looked at that matchup and went, Zander Fagerson's up against Angus Bell, and he's just hammered him. He's absolutely smashed him. And Zander Fagerson, his ball carrying around the park's really good. I've been saying it, and I think he's above Tadhg Furlong in the battle for the Lions tight head prop jersey. I think he's had a great 2024. Won the URC, and he's probably Scotland's most important player because the drop off from him to the next best is quite a big one. Second rows, I went for Thibaut Flamand and Franco Mostert. Both very, very good performances. Yes, I know they're both kind of the number 5 line out forward lock, although in France they have that player as the number 4, don't they? It is interesting the way different countries number their players. Like second row, I think France and England have the guy that scrummages behind the tight head lock, if you like, the bigger guy. They have him number 5, whereas a lot of other countries have it the other way around. They have the tight head lock number 4 and the line out guy, the more agile, quicker, faster line-out specialist, number 5. Anyway, they were both brilliant for their teams, so they're both in. Simple as that. Into the back row then. And again, as I say, if you disagree or there's a player you think deserves a shout, let me know. Now, this I could be accused of a pity selection on this one. I don't think it is. I do feel a bit sorry for Wales. I don't want to seem patronising. I genuinely thought James Botham's performance for Wales was heroic. The number of tackles he put in. Jack Morgan could have got this easily as well. I thought that Jamie Ritchie was really good for Scotland. I thought Chandler Cunningham South, when he came on, was very good. But the bravery and the work in just getting up off the deck after tackling a giant South African and just going and doing it again. And he got a try, didn't he, as well? I thought it was a really, really strong performance from James Botham, so fair play for that one. Charles Olivon, yes, he was wearing number 8 for France, but I've shunted him across the back row. He usually wears 7 for France, and it was a reminder of just how good he is. He's been on the bench, out the team, but he's finished November for France very, very strongly, and it's going to be a bit of a battle now. Do they go Gregory Aldrit, or do they go Charles Olivon, or the young lad Gazzotti as well? It's going to be interesting to watch that one. I would give a mention for Zuliani, the Italian 7, who was brilliant against New Zealand. Juan Martin Gonzalez. The engine and the wheels on that guy is amazing, but I've gone for Charles Olivon because I had to accommodate both him and Jasper Wiese in my back row. He was a beast. South Africa's top carrier, over 100 metres carried on his own. I think 19 carries. I would also shout Caelan Doris was very good again. Really strong finish to the year for him. Deserved World Player of the Year nominee. And Joaquin Oviedo, only 23 years old, another beast of a performance for Argentina in a losing team against France. And there is your pack. And if you've got any disagreements with that pack from the weekend, well, let's have a chat about it in the comments. Ben White was the best scrum half, in my eyes, across the weekend. I thought the 2 scrum halves in the Italy-New Zealand game were really good. Cameron Roigard was very good, sniped, scored a really lovely try. But in a misfiring New Zealand backline, and I thought Martin Pagerello played a really good game tactically for Italy, but again, he wasn't quite able to be the spark to actually get them across the line. But both good performances, but I thought Ben White was really, really good. And yeah, bearing in mind the British and Irish Lions play against Australia, I thought he controlled things very, very well, and I think he's in with a shout of being on that Lions tour, possibly as the 3rd scrum half behind Jamison Gibson-Park and actually Thomas Williams, Alex Mitchell. It's going to be a bit of a battle for that 9 jersey, behind JGP, that is. Fly half. Thomas Ramos. Could quite easily have gone for... Well, Sam Prendergast had a really good first start for Ireland, didn't he? See, there weren't actually... Again, it's a strange year for fly half, you know. Strange year. I had this. I've got a video in the channel already if you haven't seen it. The reaction to the World Rugby Award and the Dream Team. Not many fly halves really standing up and having incredible years. Lots of chopping and changing. Lots of countries not quite deciding who their fly half is. And maybe that's going to be looking back in one of the stories of 2024. Who's kind of emerging and grabbing hold of the 10 jerseys around the world. There you go. I thought Thomas Ramos was absolutely sensational once again. He's had a brilliant November. Into the centres, and I went for Bundy Aki and Tommaso Menoncello. Yes, both wearing 12 on their back this weekend. And in fairness, the strongest performers in the midfield were all wearing 12, and you could take your pick. Honestly, put the names in a hat, pick them out. I'd have been happy with it for a team of the week. Damian Diolende, Sione Tuipulotu, Tommaso Menoncello, Bundy Aki, all absolutely brilliant. I would also give a mention for Dylan Riley for Japan, for Gael Fickou for France, for Jesse Creel for South Africa. Those are the 2 I've gone with. I thought they were both superb performances. Let me know if you would do it differently. On the wings, 2 diminutive scrum hat wearing Power Ranger wingers. It's just the rules. I think it should be a rule. Every team has to have a small rapid winger with a scrum cap on. And France and South Africa had 2 of them in their games this weekend. And in the case of Louis Biel-Biarré, actually Gabin Villiers was brilliant for France this weekend. Could quite easily have made the team of the week. Louis Biel-Biarré, that little nudge through, and the wheels of this kid is frightening. And he's only 21. And Kurtley Arendse, whilst Cheslin Colby's been getting all the headlines this November, Player of the Year nominee, brilliant man of the match performance against England last weekend, Kurtley Arendse reminded everyone, as if it needed reminding, he's incredible as well. His best performance in a South African jersey, certainly in November, maybe this year. I don't know. Trying to quickly rack my brain for other great performances. He's always good. I will also give a mention for, I mentioned Villiers, didn't I? Darcy Graham and Duhan van der Merwe were very good. Tommy Freeman and Ollie Slightholme, really good finishes. But there you go. I've gone for the two little scrum cap wearing Power Rangers. And to complete the team, Blair Kinghorn, the most Scottish name in the world ever. And a reminder of just how good he is. By the way, in this team of the week, you've got two Toulouse fullbacks in the team. Thomas Ramos and Blair Kinghorn are both fullbacks. Yeah, Ramos plays 10 a lot as well, but predominantly a fullback. Him and Blair Kinghorn are both at Toulouse, along with Juan Cruz Malia and Ange Capowatso. How many incredible fullbacks does one team need? Toulouse are ridiculous. There you go. I found it too hard to pick a 3-2-1 best players of the week, so I'm not doing it this week. I honestly found it too hard. If you had to absolutely push me into a corner and go, no, pick who is your favourite player this week, who would I go for? Who would you go for? I'd go Xander Fagerson would be in there. I'd go Xander Fagerson at 3. I'd go Charles Ollivon at 2. Oh, I can't pick it. I can't pick. Look, I can't pick, all right? They're all great. They're all brilliant. And I'm leaving it there. That's it. I'm not doing it. I'll pick my team. What more do you want? Right, I'll see you on the next video.